Good afternoon. My name is Rich Nass, and I'm the brand director for the Embedded Group at Open Systems Media. I am here today with Dr. James Truchard, better known as Dr. T, who is the CEO and founder of National Instruments. Pretty well known. I don't think Dr. T really needs any introduction. Hello, Dr. T. How are you today?
I am doing very fine.
Good. So we have 5 minutes, so I'll get right into the questions. Okay, so you're the founder of one of the most successful companies in our industry, National Instruments. It must have been pretty scary at the very beginning when you were thinking about going into a startup. So I have 2 questions for you. A, what was the thinking when you were starting this, and was there a plan B if it didn't work? And then as a follow-up to that, what would your advice be to somebody who is thinking down the same road where they want to do a startup?
Okay, I was working at the University of Texas, so we were moonlighting to get started, and we worked till we had a revenue stream. And Plan B would have been continue to work till we made it work.
Okay, well that's easier said than done, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and we were. One of the things that made it more challenging, we had an opportunity for a very large order that our customer was 90% sure they were going to get, and at the last minute, despite us committing resources and the like and hiring some people, we did not get the job. So we had to really scramble to make up the gap.
Okay. And your advice to somebody who wants to follow in those footsteps?
Well, I tried to give my advice to quite a number of people using the self-finance startup, and these days with the ready available venture capital, most folks tend to want to go with venture capital because they see it as potentially less risky and less sacrifice on their part.
But it's also less reward as well. Would you agree with that?
It's really correct, and often the founder will be whittled down to maybe 4 or 5% when it's all said and done.
Well, that doesn't sound very encouraging.
But that's the reality.
Right. Okay. So let's shift gears. We'll stay with the younger generation, but let's shift gears a little bit. I know from our previous discussions you're a very big believer in STEM, the science and technology and engineering and math in our youth. Why is that so important to you?
Well, historically the U.S. has been able to depend on the bright minds from around the globe, but as the globalization has occurred, those folks can find jobs back at home. So the chance of them needing to stay here is less, and consequently it's more critical that more of U.S. citizens engage in science, technology, engineering, and math so that we can stay competitive on a global scale.
So what does National Instruments do to help this effort?
We have a quite significant effort all the way across the board. We work one of the leading programs we have, and I was just getting an update at lunch today on FIRST Robotics and the FIRST activity, which has been quite successful. This was started by Dean Kamen and really has been successful in engaging young kids, even especially minorities and females, into getting excited about science and engineering.
That's great. Okay, now I bet I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway. If you were not involved in engineering, if you were in a completely different field, if you were going to do something completely different, what would you be doing?
Well, the question you could ask that predates that one is, if I hadn't had the opportunity to go to college, what would have I been doing? Probably working on the farm somewhere. So college was really my entry into quite a change in lifestyle, with having the ability to have a career, ending up very much in high tech and enjoying the benefits of that.
I figured you would have something to do with tilling the soil for sure. Well, that was 5 minutes with Dr. T. James Truchard, the CEO and founder of National Instruments. Thank you very much for your time, Dr. T. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. That was